Hey guys, Wi-Fi 1225 here with another ESO Saturday. So today we're going to be talking about the Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild. So those are two things I've waited for since the launch of the game and where they're finally coming. So in this video I'm going to give you guys all the news that we know about them, some stuff you probably haven't heard so far, and then I'm going to go into like my wish list and my speculation of how they're going to work in the game and stuff like that. But first we're going to go into the news as usual, so let's just get right into it. So the first thing we have today is that veteran ranks will not be increasing with the Orzronum DLC later this year. So that's a pretty big piece of news. A lot of people thought it was going to go up to veteran rank 18 or 19, or sorry, veteran rank 17 or 18. I'm really happy that it's not increasing. I think the reason they're doing it is they don't want like lower level people to feel like they cannot reach the level cap ever, because it just keeps increasing every 3 months. It is kind of hard to get to the level cap if you're actually just doing the questing content. If you are grinding, it's a little easier, but you know, it's still challenging, so they don't want to keep raising it and make the new stuff impossible for people to play. So I think that's why they kept it at veteran rank 16. I don't think many people are unhappy about this. Maybe some people who wanted just to, you know, grind up more levels, but I think it's a pretty good decision on ZeniMax's part and something I'm pretty happy about. So if you are grinding to, you know, level cap, you might want to wait one so you can still, you know, increase your XP as you're doing the quest, or maybe not if you just like grinding and stuff. You know, might as well go to level cap. But that Orzronum DLC should come around December, I think, this year, but make sure you guys keep your ears and eyes tuned, because we will get more information on that probably in the next couple months. Next, let's move on to a post on the Elder Scrolls Online Reddit. A user on the Reddit, found out that if you look at the map, and I'm going to put pictures on the screen so you guys can know what I'm talking about. If you look at the map and you look at the circle that Cold Harbor sits on the edge of the map, you can fit 16 of those exact size circles around the map. Now there are 16 Daedric princes, or sorry, there's actually 17 Daedric princes, there's 16 Daedric planes. So that means that pretty obviously, if you look at the picture on the screen, that it seems like each plane is going to go around the map like that. But what it really confirms is that they're definitely planning on putting more Daedric realms in the game, which we already know because some of them were already announced as adventure zones. But they are coming to the game, and it seems like we're probably going to get a lot of them, maybe even all 16 eventually. That's pretty exciting, guys. You know, just kind of a nice little uplifting news that the game seems to, you know, want to be putting a lot of these Daedric planes, and at least keeping it open that we'll have all 16. That's a pretty cool idea, something I got kind of excited about, and more than that, it's just kind of a cool discovery on this person's part, because it was not obvious, I don't think, to anyone else. But so good job to them, and that's just a little cool piece of news that I had today. So moving on, guys, let's talk about the clothing. So in the last Lore Masters archive, we got some pictures of clothing concept art for Elder Scrolls Online. Now, a lot of people have been asking for the clothing to be added to the game. You know, just regular townspeople clothes, so you're not always having to wear armor. So I will put some pictures on the screen of them, and you guys can take a look for yourself. They do look like they're coming in packs of 3, which would make me think that they're coming to the Crown Store. You know, that definitely seems likely, and you know, something they would put on there. So we got to take a look at the concept art for the Bretons, the Dunmer, the Orc, the Argonian, the Red God, and the Nord. So not sure if those are the only races they're going to put on the Crown Store right now, or if those are just the ones they showed off. Not really sure about them. All I know is they all looked really good. The only one I didn't really like was the Dunmer. Didn't really look that lore friendly to me. You know, Dunmer have some really, you know, unique styles in their architecture and their clothes, and for me, the clothes that they had on the concept art just didn't really reflect the Dunmer style. And I'll put pictures on the screen of stuff from, you know, concept art from Morrowind that you can check out. You know, some really cool clothing styles, really unique to Morrowind. And then you can look at the ones, you know, from ESO. I just don't think they look that great, and that's a lot of things that people were talking about on the Reddit too. I would definitely want ZeniMax to make them more unique and more, you know, more Dunmery, I guess, and, you know, more like they look like they're actually from Morrowind, because right now they look kind of generic to me, and I would definitely like to see them work on them a little bit. But other than that, it looks pretty good. I know lots of people are excited for clothing to come into ESO, so that's a cool piece of news if you have been waiting for that. But right now I want to move on to something that IGN, it was actually an article that IGN posted. It's called The Painstaking Redemption of the Elder Scrolls Online. So it's kind of just an article about, you know, IGN's current thoughts about the Elder Scrolls Online. Lots of websites have made articles about how much the Elder Scrolls Online has improved and how much they liked it. I wish a lot of these places would re-review them, because I think a lot of the reviews ESO got at first were kind of unfair because of the bugs and stuff it had, and it's improved so much as a game. I thought it was great to begin with. I think it's even better now. But you know, IGN gave ESO a 7.8 at first. I really wish they would re-review it and give it, you know, the 9 or 10 that it really deserves. But in this article, they were kind of talking about how much it improved, like I said, you know, how it came, you know, to the console and everything like that. One thing that I really wanted to focus on was it said that ESO was selling extremely well on console, which is pretty exciting. You know, we love ESO, so we want ESO to do well, and to hear it's doing financially well is really good. The developer said that the payment model is doing really well, so to hear all that is just really good news. You know, always happy for ESO to succeed, and it's good that it's getting good press, because for a while I think it had a really negative view. A lot of people, you know, were kind of trashing it, even though I think it is one of the better games ever made. So, you know, it's really happy to just see people are finally coming around on it. Lots of articles like this have been made. I said PC Gamer had one just a couple months ago. To see more stuff like this is really great, and pretty happy that IGN ran that article, because it's pretty good press for the game too. But that's pretty much all I have for news for this week, guys. If I missed anything that you guys saw, make sure you leave in the comments below. But right now I want to talk about the Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild, which is the reason we're all here. The main topic of the podcast for this week. Something like I said in the beginning of the video, I've been waiting for the Thieves Guild and the Dark Brotherhood since before ESO was launched. Since I learned about ESO like a year and a half before launch, my first thought was the Thieves Guild and the Dark Brotherhood, because that really was some of my favorite parts of Skyrim. You know, the Thieves Guild quest for Skyrim was just, it was my favorite. I love the Ratway, I love the characters, I love the quest. Overall, I just thought it was the best part of the game, maybe. So, you know, obviously waiting for those to come to Elder Scrolls Online, I'm not the only one either. You know, it's been one of the most requested things, especially the Dark Brotherhood. Lots of hype around the Dark Brotherhood, not as much as the Thieves Guild, but, you know, everyone loves the Dark Brotherhood, so people have been really waiting for it, and they've said it's coming, but we finally got news at QuakeCon that it is coming, you know, Q1 and Q2 of next year, so we finally got some information on it, but not nearly enough. But in this video, I'm going to round up everything we know, which is actually more than I think a lot of people know, and then I'm going to go into my speculation for how it's going to work, and then a little bit of my wish list of what I want to see from them, and then we'll wrap up the video for today. So first, let's get into the news and what we do know about the guilds. So first off, from what I've read in articles and the way the developers have talked, it does look like the Thieves Guild is going to come first and the Dark Brotherhood is going to come second. That kind of just makes sense to me, because I feel like they're just going to hold the Dark Brotherhood off, because, you know, it is what most people are waiting for and they really want to get it perfect. Other than that, guys, we do know that the first DLC will be coming in Q1 2016. Since Origin looks like it's going to be released in December, my guess would be maybe, you know, a March or February release date. And then the second one, which is, like I said, probably the Dark Brotherhood, looks like it's going to be coming probably in Q2. Well, it is coming in Q2. My guess would be it's coming more around June time, you know, a little bit more towards the middle of the year. Other than that, guys, we have gotten a look at their own armor, which looks really great. I'll put pictures on the screen. The Dark Brotherhood looks like classic Dark Brotherhood armor, you know, the shrouded armor, whatever you want to call it. It looks really just perfect. The Thieves Guild, I like it. I don't love it as much as the Skyrim one, but definitely, you know, these are just concepts, so this isn't necessarily what it's going to look like in game. Just keep that in mind when you're looking at them, but they definitely look, you know, true to the lore and how they should look, and they look pretty, you know, stealthy and cool. So, you know, you can see that on the screen, like I said. Other than that, guys, to confirm that Naru, or Naru, I think I'm pronouncing that right, the Dunmer from the Ebonheart Pact storyline, who was a part of the Morag Tong, will be returning for the Dark Brotherhood questline. So that's pretty cool. Not sure how that's going to work, because if I am correct in remembering, she was part of the Morag Tong. And, you know, the Dark Brotherhood and the Morag Tong don't really get along. You know, they did split. They were one eventually. If you don't know that lore, I definitely recommend going to look it up. But just a quick, you know, history lesson is they were one, they kind of split, and, you know, they really don't like each other. So having her being in that quest line, it's going to be kind of interesting to see how that plays out. But nonetheless, she will be in the storyline, and they said that. So an article made 20 days ago with like an interview with some of the people from ZeniMax said that the Dark Brotherhood questline is right now in the, you know, final stages of the writing phase. They said they're actually writing the ending. They said it's almost done. They also said it has a lot of cool plot twists and kind of is like a traditional Dark Brotherhood storyline, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so they said they were wrapping that up about 20 days ago, so I would imagine by now it's pretty much wrapped up. One cool thing they said is that it will have multiple endings depending on your choices. Now, we saw that in the Mages Guild and the Fighters Guild questline. You got to make choices at the end. Hopefully this one will have more of like, you know, you have to make like 10 choices throughout the questline, and then, you know, depending on those, the combination you make, you get a certain ending. That'd be cooler than just, you know, one choice at the end, but really any of those combinations is pretty cool. You know, I always like player choice, especially in the Elder Scrolls Online, because I felt like some of the quests we didn't get enough of it. but for that to be coming in the Dark Brotherhood questline is pretty exciting. And then when he was talking about the Thieves Guild, he didn't seem to want to give too much away, because again, they made it sound like that is the one that's coming first next year. But he said, I'm not trying to give too much away, but it's mostly to do with where they are in the world. He also went on to say, we have a lot of factions fighting each other, and there are some neutral factions, so we're going to play off of that concept. So really, that's a direct quote, by the way. So it doesn't sound like you want to give too much about the Thieves Guild. Maybe, you know, they'll start it like the Thieves Guild is kind of low in the world, like kind of like how it was in Skyrim, and you'll have to like move up through the guild and raise the guild up. Not sure about that, but yeah, it didn't sound like they wanted to give too much about the Thieves Guild, so we didn't get too much information, but sounds like they pretty much have that one all wrapped up, so it does sound like we'll see that one in Q1 of 2016, like I said. So let's move on, guys, to more of my speculation and what I want to see. So first off, let's go into how they'll actually work, because we haven't seen any quest line really plugged into the game without adding a new zone, and you know, these aren't just going to take place in one zone, so it's kind of interesting to see how they'll actually put in the game. It definitely raises some challenges for them, but this is how I think it'll probably work. So first off, how you'll join. It seems like they really want, you know, the traditional Dark Brotherhood way of getting a letter sent to you that says "we know," and of course the fans want that too, because it's pretty lore friendly. So I think probably if you've killed an innocent person just by, you know, screwing around with the crime system, I think you'll probably get that "we know" letter in the mail. Maybe even if you haven't killed an innocent person, you'll get it too, just because, you know, maybe they noticed you or something like that. But I think that's a pretty good way to, you know, start off the quest line, and then, you know, from there you'll have to go to the first area, the first sanctuary or something like that. For the Thieves Guild, I feel like it'll probably work the same way. You'll get like a letter, or someone will come and see you and recruit you, or something of that sort. Other than that, I think the quest will probably adjust to your level. I think the Dark Brotherhood and Thieves Guild are going to bring in a lot of new players, you know, who maybe stop playing the game. I don't think they want people to have to be veteran rank 16 in order to play these quest lines, so I think they'll probably be able to play them no matter what your level is. Maybe the veteran ranks will be gone by then, but I highly doubt it. So they're probably going to be, like, in my opinion, the quests are probably going to start in like the crime sanctuaries already in the game. You know, we got that with that update with the crime system, so probably you'll go into those sanctuaries, and you know, there'll be a Dark Brotherhood sanctuary in that sanctuary, or there'll be like a Thieves Guild setup or something like that. I think that's probably most likely, and then I think maybe there'll be just like one quest per zone, and then you know, you'll have to just move around the world and do like these different phases, and those phases are your level, and you'll have to do like assassinations or steal stuff. That to me would make more sense, just because, you know, like, it wouldn't really make sense for them to add a new zone for the Dark Brotherhood, and it wouldn't make sense for you to have to go back to, you know, let's say Morrowind, where it's all low level stuff, and have to, you know, fight enemies there. I think it's probably going to be all in phases, and those are going to phase through your level, obviously, and I think hopefully the questline will have you going all around the world, and that's really cool, because, you know, a lot of the quest lines we have just been in one zone. It's going to be cool to have one that has you traveling all around, you know, Tamriel. So that's pretty exciting to me, guys. And yeah, like I said, I think probably their bases are going to be in the criminal sanctuaries that already exist. You know, the Ragged Flagon is already in the game with that's Riften's criminal sanctuary. So it seems likely that that's the case to me. Now, they also said that the bounty system is coming in the game, if you guys remember, so I think it'll probably come with the Thieves Guild or the Dark Brotherhood. That to me would make sense, you know, especially because there's going to be a lot of crime, so there's probably going to be a lot of bounties. And if you guys don't know about the bounty system, basically what it's going to be is where if someone has a bounty on their head because they've committed crime, you can kill them and then you get that gold. You know, obviously it would create, you know, PvP in PvE zones, so it's going to be interesting, and they have to do it really carefully, but I think once it's in the game, it's going to be really cool, and, you know, we have to wait to see, but it would make sense to me if those came with the Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild update. We also know we're going to get skill lines for both the Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild. The Dark Brotherhood, I think, will probably more be around combat, you know, more of those like abilities that you can put on your hotbar and stuff like that. And I think the Thieves Guild will probably be more, you know, orientated towards stealth, maybe some stuff like pickpocketing and lockpicking. To me, that would just make sense. You know, the Dark Brotherhood is more assassin and combat orientated, and the Thieves Guild is all about not even killing. So I think that's probably what the skill lines will look like, but definitely going to be cool to get some new skill lines in the game, get some fresh new abilities and stuff like that. So that's just my predictions of how, the Dark Brotherhood and Thieves Guild are going to work in the game. Like I said, it's kind of interesting because we haven't seen anything like this added to the game. So I think it's definitely going to be, unique and different from anything we've seen. That's my take on it, and that's my, guess. But, in the end, we'll just have to wait to see. I'm sure they'll, tease some of this stuff in like January or February next year, and we'll finally get to know, because I've been waiting for this for a while. But other than that, guys, let's just go into my wish list for the two guilds. I really want to see a traditional storyline. Thieves Guild should really have almost no killing in it at all. You should be just going into places stealing stuff. It's not about boss fights or anything like that. There should be no boss fights in the Thieves Guild. Maybe like one at the end or something like that. But really, it should be orientated towards stealing and, nothing else. For the Dark Brotherhood, obviously, we want assassinations. And the assassinations, like I said, they shouldn't be boss fights. They should just be killing people. You have to do it, smart and by thinking, and you have to do it tactical, but not really about, like a boss fight or anything like that. So that's what I want to see, just like lore-friendly, traditional storylines for both guilds. I already kind of went over this one, but I really want to see the bounty system actually introduced with these two things. I think it would be really cool, and I already went over that, so I won't touch on it too much, but I really think ZeniMax should try to get it out within these two updates or DLCs. Next, I want to see randomly generated theft and assassination quests. So, kind of like we had in Skyrim, where they would say, oh, go kill this person or go steal from this house. I kind of want those miscellaneous, randomly generated quests that would serve as like endgame for these guilds, because that would be really cool. We all love assassinations, so, saying go kill this person in the town, it would make sense because, people put targets or contracts on people all the time, and then it would work with the system they already have, because you could just go into a town and kill someone, like you can right now, and I don't think it would take that much work. I think it would be pretty easy. For the Thieves Guild, they would say like go in this house and steal these 3 items. Again, I think it would not be hard for ZeniMax to do, so I really hope they think of it and just put that in the game, because I think that would be a really great idea, and just give some end game for these guilds, so we can always be doing Dark Brotherhood contracts and stuff like that. Next, I would love to see a Shadow Mirror pop up, maybe just one quest in the game. Obviously, it can't be a mount, because if everyone had him, it would be kind of lore breaking, but if we could just ride him in like one quest or something like that, that would be really cool. Just because he's been in Oblivion and Skyrim, I'd love to see him come up in ESO. It'd be cool if they had some crown store related items to the guilds. I'm not sure what that would look like, maybe some clothing or pets. Something like they did with the Imperial City update, where they had like an Imperial City themed mount and an Imperial City themed pet and an Imperial City costume pack. So stuff like that to go along with the DLC would be really nice to see. Other than that, guys, options are to kill people from far away using like strategy, like without spoiling anything from the past games, dropping something on someone's head or something like that, where it takes strategy and it makes it look like an accident, something kind of like Dishonored or something like that. That'd be cool to see and give the assassinations a little bit more strategy involved. I'd really like that. Having people react to your killings is always nice, because it makes you feel like you're actually having an impact on the world, like when people are talking about it afterwards and stuff like that. I really love that the devs put that in the game. Like I said before, Dark Brotherhood sanctuaries all over the world, where it's lore friendly. That'd be nice to see. And then one last thing, I just really want these questlines to respect the lore and not break the lore or anything, and I'm sure they will, because I know the devs at ESO or the devs at ZeniMax are really, they're really careful about what they put in the game and make sure it goes with the other games. I just really want to see that, and I really want these to be true Dark Brotherhood and Thieves Guild quest lines. And if they do that, I think this should be, maybe the best part of the Elder Scrolls Online. So I'm really excited about that, and I know a lot of people are too. That pretty much wraps it up for the video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. It's a bit of a longer one, so thanks for sticking around till the end. I will have more videos coming on Elder Scrolls Online really soon, so make sure you stay tuned for that. If you guys liked the video, give it a like. If you want to subscribe, that would be really awesome. Like I said, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.